like to start things off with a story. So for right now, I want you all to put on your time machine caps. We're going to go back. But where are we going? Blockbuster Video, right? So this Blockbuster was the staple in home video entertainment, right? This is where you went to explore and find new movies. You had conversations with the clerk about, hey, what's hot, what's new, what's coming out. You brought your whole family to Blockbuster. There was no streaming. There was not all that stuff we have today, but it was, at that time, it was groundbreaking, right? It was where you went to get your entertainment. It was founded by a gentleman named David Cook in 1985. Now, when he created Blockbuster, he had a vision of capitalizing off of what he's seen was a rising trend of home video entertainment. And over the course of its life, Blockbuster in the United States had over 9,000 video rental stores, employed over 84,000 people worldwide, and at one point had a registered customer base of over 65 million customers. Their success actually came from creating a barcode system that allowed them to efficiently track VHSs up to, I want to say it was about 10,000 VHSs per store through their customer directory. What happens when you have something like this brewing within an industry or within the market, when people are getting a little frustrated with how things are going, right? Enter Mr. Reed Hastings. He was actually a door-to-door salesman. We all know him as the founder of the entertainment giant Netflix. Remember how that came about? It was great, right? You had this DVD rent by mail system. You didn't have to go to Blockbuster anymore. I mean, we still have Blockbuster, but this new thing was brewing, right? You can select like a list of 10 movies, send in your list, right? And then every day you had like a new DVD waiting for you. It was incredible. And best of all, no late fee. Mr. Hastings didn't even himself realize what he had brewing on his own. So in early 2000, Netflix offered to sell to Blockbuster for $50 million. In early 2000, Blockbuster had the opportunity to get Netflix for $50 million. So what happens? Of course, it's the beginning of the end. Blockbuster knows competition's brewing. The times are changing. Technology's changing. So they actually, at one point, Blockbuster teamed up with Enron to create video on demand. They became too focused on this brick and mortar business model. And quite frankly, I think they were too in love with the late fees. They had this crazy thing about late fees, but they lost their commitment to building out this VOD platform. And by 2001, they actually walked away from creating the first major development in wide-scale movie streaming. That's two things. One, you walked away from being able to buy Netflix for $50 million. Then you walk away from the opportunity of creating the first wide-scale movie streaming platform. Customers are getting used to Netflix. We like actually not having to drive out to the video store. We like being able to come home from that long day of work and, hey, that movie I want to see, that game I want to rent, it's already in my mailbox. This was very appealing to people. So as this trend continues, by 2009, and actually in 2009, Blockbuster reported a loss of $518 million, while Netflix was rising with an earnings of $116 million. By 2010, Blockbuster lost its position on the New York Stock Exchange, and the last video was rented on November 9th, 2013. Right? And that was the end of an era. That was the end of something that at one point we would have never imagined Blockbuster going away. I mean, you were the apex of video entertainment. How do you not move on? I mean, innovation has been from the beginning of time. It will be here today. It will be with us long tomorrow. Innovation has taken us from the first fire that caveman made to the flashlight. It's going to keep going. It's going to forever evolve. And innovation is something we have to embrace if we want to be successful in life, successful in business. If we want to continue to push beyond our limits, we have to be innovative. So again, the concept refers to the process that an individual or organization undertakes to conceptualize brand new products, processes, and ideas, or to approach existing products, processes, and ideas in new ways. You don't necessarily have to be an inventor to be an innovator. Always questioning, always exploring those possibilities that exist within the things and the resources we have today. Innovation keeps the world moving forward. It is literally in every aspect of our lives. It helps make the most of what we already have. It actually correlates to one of our core values, inspires us to be 1% better every day, because innovation is about making things better. It's about thinking outside of the box. You can't innovate with a closed mind. And as you can see, innovation's everywhere, from how we consume our information, to how we cook our food, to how we enjoy our coffee, it's endless, right? Now, what we're going to continue with, what I'm going to move forward to, is innovation in business. So there's essentially 4 types of innovation that I'm going to quickly discuss. There is incremental, disruptive, architectural, and radical. Incremental innovation. Now, this is honestly the most common form of innovation. And actually, I think it's funny, not funny, but last week, Kevin gave us a presentation about Salesforce. So again, as we are making our segue to Salesforce, which is amazing. I mean, that ties in to the forward thinking, to the progression of our organization, and that is innovation, right? So incremental innovation utilizes existing tech and increases value to the consumer, making things easier, making usage easy, interactions easier, just taking something that's already there, tweaking it accordingly to make it more pleasant. Disruptive innovation. Now, this one's also known as stealth innovation, or as I like to call ninja innovation, right? It involves applying a new technology or process to your company's current market. Architectural innovation. Now, this one involves taking lessons and skills and overall technology and applies them within a different market, right? Now, it's amazing at creating new customers as long as the market is receptive, and it's also low risk due to the reliance and reintroduction of a proven technology. The last is going to be radical innovation, right? Radical innovation is often what we most think about when we're considering innovation. It's the type of innovation that gives birth to new industries or might even swallow up existing ones. It involves creating revolutionary technology. Now, how to promote innovation in the workplace? What are some tips? One that I found interesting is try conducting stand-up meetings. Get a buddy, right? Pick small projects, right? Flip your assumptions. Bring it to life, right? Another one that constantly comes up is fuel up on creativity. And lastly, ask yourself, I like this one, what would my hero do? One thing I want to just conclude with is that I felt like this topic was important because as genius makers, the whole foundation of our group is building upon knowledge, sharing ideas. I think we at the core embody all of the necessities to build and flourish a supremely innovative organization. And it all starts here with us as genius makers. Every other Thursday, we come together and honestly, we innovate. We explore ideas. We explore our potential. We harness that power. And with that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you for being the innovators that you all are. And thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts, my ideas, and my information on innovation.